Yo, Sneaky, what's going on? 100x leverage long? Yeah, if you want to die. We finally got some action, boys. Basically, exactly what we wanted to see. Let me go over here to my other chart. So our trade is... Let me go down to an hourly, see if I can get it. Basically right here. Where's my entry? Let me see. Oh, I closed BitMEX. Let me look over here. Alright, there's our entry. Stop loss doesn't really matter. We closed half of our trade at 8,800. So a really beautiful close on that. And then I just flattened out the other half. Where is that level? Here we go. We flattened the other half out at 8,800 on XBT USD. So 8,800 right here was our flatten for so I took the same size long as I have short. Just to flatten us out, go ahead and hedge the position. And we closed half of it already for a nice little almost 7% profit. So we're looking really good. Looking really good. Now, if I took this trade like right here, this would have been basically a perfect trade. But I didn't take the trade right here. I had this trade open during like this entire chop. So I took the trade like back here. We had it open throughout all this chop. So sadly, we didn't take it right there. That would have been a beautiful trade, but we took it more back. I think it was back here on the 3rd is where we took it. So our drawdown, oops, let me see if I can, what's the high there? 98.48. Let's see. 98.48. Our drawdown was 4.3%. If we didn't hedge, I was hedged throughout most of that. So it wasn't too bad. And then we just hedged half at about this level. That is our current trade. We're up like 25% on our account off this trade. This trade is huge. So typically, on my high risk account, I typically take about 2x margin 2x leverage, I mean, as my normal size position. This was a 4x leverage trade, so massive trade here. 4x leverage, and we closed for about 7% on half of our position. We're looking really good so far on November. I'm also going to start to look to buy some longs long-term on my main account. I need to sign into my main account and probably start putting some bids in. What scares me a little bit is the daily double sell. We had a 5% drop here, but if you look at historically the daily double sells, they drop much harder than 5% typically. Typically, you're going to see about 20 to 30% drops minimum. So a 20 to 30% drop would destroy us here. It'd go all the way down to like 74, 75. So I'm a little reluctant to start putting in bids just yet. You do have a lot of buyers starting to come in. Sorry, I'm a little flustered right now for some reason. So if you look at Trading Light, you have a massive amount of buyers starting to step in here. Big buy walls coming in around 85, 86. Just as expected, we talked about that on stream for the past like week. I told you guys 86 to 8800 was going to be massive support. And look at exactly where we bounced. We started bouncing off 86 to 8800. My computer's being really funny today. I don't know what's wrong with it. I was just trying to play some Call of Duty before stream and my game kept crashing. My game runs at like 100%, or my CPU. My CPU runs at like 100% when I'm playing COD. Is that normal? Like I don't think that's normal. And I have a pretty damn good computer. My computer's pretty strong. So I don't know why it's running at 100%. Like here, I'm using an Intel Core i7 8700K, 3.7 gigahertz. It's running a little over 3.7 right now. I don't have this overclocked unless it's factory overclocked, but I'm guessing it is factory overclocked because it typically runs at about 4.2 to like 4.6. How do you know if your card is factory overclocked or not? You guys know that? How do you know if your processor is factory overclocked? Let's see the bulls sweat when this retraces to a point of origin. Yeah, really. You could check the BIOS. Yeah, see, I don't really know how to do any of that stuff. I'm not very computer savvy. So if my card says that if it's a 3.6 gigahertz card and it's running at like 4.2 to 4.6, wouldn't that mean that it's overclocked? Or could it be running at a higher speed even though it's not overclocked? I don't know anything about like overclocking PCs. Yeah, it's funny if you look at this level back here. Remember we were talking about this level a while ago on this doji. You can see this doji. It's a point of origin doji and it's a pivot. These are really, really good levels when they line up with pivots and dojis. And look at where we bounced. We literally bounced off this level almost to the dollar. So very perfect trade there. Looks like the spread is finally starting to close a little bit here on December, which is good for me because I'm shorting December. So we don't have any bull divs or anything just yet. You are showing some accumulation, but there's nothing giving you like a bull div. You had a very slight bull div here, and then you popped up, which is why I hedged my short. But that's on a 15-minute. Nothing really higher than that. You got a 30-minute slight bull div. No bull div on the hourly. Actually, pretty big bull div on the 2-hour. That's really good. I didn't see that. That's the only one that I see here is the 2-hour bull div. That's actually not too bad. But this is a very strong impulse down, so bull divs and bear divs are not that good at predicting bounces on very strong impulses. We also have a 2-hour pivot coming in, so you definitely have some accumulation coming in here. I actually have not taken a look at Ethereum at all today. Let's take a look. Wow, Ethereum didn't really dump at all. That's crazy. Look at that. Ethereum just backed down to the bottom of the range. ETH BTC doing really good. Litecoin's also doing good. Yeah, it looks like Bitcoin's not really affecting the other altcoins here. Bitcoin has completely lost its range here, so we can go ahead and take the low of this range. That's about 9,000. 9,000 is going to be your distribution low, which is basically the same here, 9,000. So if we regain the distribution low, like I told you guys, this could be a buying opportunity. But until we regain 9,000, you're shorting this. This is a markdown. So you want to look for a markdown until you regain that 9,000. Now, obviously, we could have some shorter term trading where we see some accumulation, then we pop up. But for now, the long-term aspect of Bitcoin, looking at it on like a daily structure, you don't really want to be longing too heavy until 9,000 is broken. I'm going to start longing lower just to build a long-term position. But it's more of a kind of a DCA technique instead of a discretionary trading technique. Yeah, look at this. Ethereum is still holding the 50% of the distribution. Ethereum is not even really that bearish right now. You had another deviation here, so we have multiple deviations. Retrace, failure. 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 So it is bearish. It's definitely bearish. You have like a head and shoulders here. Look at this. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, break of the neckline, retest of the neckline. So we could see a failure here on Ethereum. I wouldn't be bullish on Ethereum until like 187.50 is broken. maybe a close above 192. You can see we had a swing failure of 192 there and here. So both of these levels gave you swing failures and they gave you deviations. Basically everything. This is just a testament to what I've been teaching you guys for almost 2 years now. This chart right here, I'm going to take a screenshot of this. This is just a testament of what I've been teaching you guys for 2 years. We have a point of origin doji that acts as your origin of the failure. We have distribution. We have deviations. We have swing failures. Like, this is just picture perfect everything that I've been teaching in one chart. So if you guys want to like test yourselves, if you looked at a clean chart here, you should be able to find all of these levels that I have marked. You should be able to find everything that I have marked on this chart by yourself. If you can't do that, then you don't fully understand what I've been teaching on my channel. And I'm going to mark this up a little bit. I'm going to mark this up here. Because this is too good to not make an example of. These two blue levels are daily dojis. Alright, sorry, I was marking that chart up. That is just a beautiful example of many things that I've been teaching. Now let's look at Bitcoin here and see if I can kind of draw up the same thing. It's a little different here. Let me go to... make a clean chart here. That's just so beautiful. It misses this level by $2. It misses this doji by $2. That is just absolutely beautiful. You see a 6 to 7% failure, and it misses this level by $2. That's absolutely perfect. Here's your distribution low. Distribution high. Try not to block the wicks of the candles. There's your retest. Multiple failures. Sorry, somebody's using my road as a racetrack, the usual. Multiple failures of distribution mid. And then we see our retest of point of origin doji. So you wanted to see like how you would have caught this move on Bitcoin. Why was I shorting this entire time? This is exactly why I was shorting the entire time. These concepts are not that hard to master. Once you give it a little bit of time and you test it out for yourself and you do a lot of drawing on the charts and just time basically, just practice. Once you practice, it's going to become second nature. Like, you guys are going to get to a point where you're like me and you can look at a chart and you can clearly see this doji stick out. You can clearly see this distribution. You can see these swing failure patterns. Once you've mastered all the price action techniques, then you want to start looking into like using indicators, like how I have my Momo, the OTS, the Auto SR, all of our other indicators, Ichimoku, all that. You want to learn how to master price action, and then you can start using indicators. The problem with people is they start using indicators really early, and they don't know how to look at a chart and see price action patterns. So I've looked at charts for so long that even though my chart looks like a fucking mess right now, and you can barely see anything, I can see through the indicators pretty easily. And once you guys get to a point where you can do that, then you'll start to make money pretty consistently on trading. I need to update my current trades. I'm currently long XPT USD. If Litecoin gets above 0.072, I'm highly interested. Let's take a look. Hey, Swayer, I think that's how you pronounce your name. What's going on, man? Appreciate the follow. Welcome to the brewery. What are we looking at? Litecoin? Yeah, look at Litecoin here. Look at where Litecoin is failing. Look at where Litecoin is failing. I didn't just draw this chart. We've drawn this chart before on stream. So, perfect example, another example of price action techniques working in our favor. And I'm gonna draw this one up as well, because this is a really good example as well. We have a point of origin doji, swing failure pattern, 1, 2, 3 failures of that point of origin. We also have a point of origin here with multiple dojis. That's why we drew that. We drew the box instead of the level, because we have multiple dojis there. And you can see failure there, swing failure, resistance almost right there, distribution, and you were not able to use it as support here. You flipped your resistance, broke it, and now we need to see if we can test it as support. But perfect failure of that level. And then look at down here. We see a point of origin doji, impulse, accumulation low, accumulation high, retest of the accumulation high, failure, bounce, look at where we bounced, perfect bounce off the accumulation mid, and then a break of the high, you have small distribution right there on the doji, break of the doji, failure of that doji, and then look at where we bounced. Bounced off that doji. Everything here, you could have looked at previous price action and grabbed some levels and you would have seen why price is reacting the way that it is. Like, people who don't know how to trade, or people who are, they're getting angry at the market, they try to say like price is random and just there's no way to look at a chart and kind of tell like, why did it fail here? Why did it bounce here? It's just random, right? People think it's random. They think that buyers and sellers are just coming out of nowhere. But you can clearly see by using my techniques that price is not random. Price is not random at all. There is nothing random about price. My entry was 94.40 on December. I shorted 94.40. I'm also long from 8,800. So I longed 8,800 to hedge my short. Sorry, I'm just making some little screenshots because this price action recently on the altcoins was really clean. Gave some really good price action. Really good examples. And if you guys don't understand these concepts that I'm going over here, that's why I post the videos on YouTube. There's tons of videos on YouTube about all of my techniques. I'm also in the Discord daily to help you guys. If you guys ever have any questions, just feel free to DM me. I answer DMs all the time from members who are trying to learn how I trade. Alright, I think I covered everything here. Alright, we got it all there. I know some of you guys probably think I do this to brag, but I don't do this to brag. I'm really trying to help you guys out. If I did this to brag, I wouldn't post videos on YouTube. I wouldn't stream every day and try to help you guys learn what I do. I would just be very ambiguous about it and tell you, oh, hey guys, I shorted 9,400 and I just took profit. Now I'm up 30%. You guys are never going to know how I trade. If I was trying to brag, I would not be trying to show you guys how I trade. I'd be trying to hide it as much as possible. Because curiosity would make me seem like a much better trader than I actually am. Because if you guys didn't know how I traded, and I just constantly showed you all these winning trades, you'd be like, holy shit, how the fuck does that guy do that? How does he trade and make 30%, 20%, 50%? But since I'm showing you guys how I trade, you can do it yourselves. And you can see it, it's not that hard. Hey Nader, what's going on, man? Hockey, how you guys doing? Who else is in here? Vin Diesel, Sawyer. Sneaky was in here earlier, Aug. Appreciate you guys all being here. Hockey said 180 has been such an important level since April on Ethereum. 180 was also the equivalent of BTC's 64 level that broke from last November during the capitulation drop. Yeah. Yeah, 180 is pretty huge. It's funny, I've told this story multiple times on stream. Oh, I've got an old drawing on this chart that ended up working out. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I've told this story a few times on stream. It's funny, the first time ever I tried to buy crypto, I was trying to buy Ethereum when it was at $150 to like $160. Like way back in the day. Or not way back, like 2 years ago. But a lot has happened in 2 years. So it really was way back. But yeah, the very first time I tried to buy crypto was trying to buy Ethereum at $160. And I was trying to buy Ethereum off Coinbase. I was trying to buy a decent amount of it too. And I got blocked by Coinbase. They blocked my credit card, they blocked my debit card. They said that I couldn't do the transaction for some reason. So I called my bank, yada yada. I was like, all right, what the fuck is this? Oh, there's a screenshot tool on Opera. Yeah, I called my bank. I was like, what's going on, man? Why am I being blocked? And they were like, oh, this whole cryptocurrency thing, like it's a little sketchy. We block a lot of transactions going into these websites, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, fuck you. It's my money. If I want to buy whatever the fuck I want to buy with my money, I'm going to do it. So stop blocking my funds or I'm leaving your bank. So they unblocked my funds. And then I went to go buy it again and it was fucking blocked again. So I went to buy it, right? I got blocked. I shit you not, within a week, Ethereum went from $160 to like $400. And I was royally pissed. So I was pretty pissed off. I didn't buy any Ethereum. I didn't buy any Bitcoin. I was like, fuck crypto. Like I could have bought it at 160. It went up to 400. So I was pretty pissed off. And then, like, here, let me look at the actual Ethereum chart. I can tell you exactly when this is happening. Alright, so look at this. Let me get rid of my indicators here. Hey, Ventura, man, I appreciate the 100 bits. Not like this. Alright, so where is it? It was, yeah, here and here, I believe. Yeah, this is it. This is it right here. So I tried to buy Ethereum during this little dip right here. So I tried to buy Ethereum at 160. It was like 160, 165. So it was somewhere around here. And then my bank got blocked. And then it shot all the way up to like $230 in the next like couple days. And then I was still pissed off that I didn't get it, so I didn't buy any. And then it shot all the way up to fucking $400. And I'm still royally pissed off at myself for not buying it like way back here. I got blocked by my bank. I could have bought it around here. I decided not to because I was pissed off. And then it shot all the way up to $400. And I was like, alright, whatever. I'll wait for it to come back. So then it comes all the way back to exactly where I wanted to buy it. And I didn't buy it. I don't know why. I don't know like what the deciding factor was. I can't remember. But I ended up not buying it. Or no. I tried to buy it, and they blocked my, because I was trying to use a credit card, and they blocked my fucking credit card because it was a credit card. Coinbase was changing a lot of their rules to be so you can't buy with credit cards, right? So I was like, okay, whatever the fuck, I'll buy it with my debit card. So I go to try to buy it with my debit card, and they blocked my fucking debit card. So I call my bank, do the whole fucking bullshit over again, get my debit card unblocked, and then I ended up not buying any Ethereum. And then I took a break, didn't trade any crypto, and then I finally started trading crypto full time, or not full time, but pretty much full time around this dip here. September 20th was when I first started trading crypto. So all the way back, if we look at Bitcoin USD, I got in crypto at a really good time. Really, really good time. Basically, right after this last little dip here, I got in crypto. It was around 4,000 when I got in. And then just easy trading all the way up to 20,000. And then then I experienced 2018, then we experienced 2019, so that's my journey. Sorry, I just went off on a very long tangent. I forgot what we were talking about. But yeah, I tried to buy Ethereum at $160. I got blocked. Tried to buy it again at $160. I got blocked. And you know what's even funnier about that whole fucking scenario? Ethereum nuked all the way down I got a lot of old drawings on these charts. Ethereum nuked all the way down to $80, and I still didn't throw all my money at it. I should have threw all my money at Ethereum around $100 to $80. That's like a no fucking brainer, dude. I don't know. This was during my long hiatus. If you guys are longtime viewers of my stream, I took a hiatus from like November to February about. And then I came back and started full-time trading again back in February. I'm typically very busy during the winter. I have a contract with a building near us, or near me, that I do a lot of snow removal and a lot of winter work for. And I make a lot of money during the winter doing that. So I typically take small breaks during the winter from trading. Usually either small breaks or I just take trading off completely. But this year I'm definitely not going to take trading off completely because it's a different story. This year I'm basically done with most of my projects. Like my indicators are finished for the most part. I'm just adding on like little tools here and there. Our Discord's finished, except for little add-ons. So it's a different story. I can focus a lot of my time on trading. I'm currently taking some classes, some courses on Python, deep learning, AI, stuff like that. I'm taking some courses on Coursera, trying to get some more knowledge. Got to get that knowledge, you know? I want to learn how to use Python and start doing a lot of data visualization, running some algorithms. I've got a lot of stuff in my notes that I've kind of created ideas, but I can't do these ideas in anything else. Like I can't do them in PineScript. I can't do them in anything that I know. So I need to learn Python. Where do you take those courses? Coursera. Coursera. I'm currently... I can't log in because it will show my information, but I'm currently taking the IBM one. So IBM has a course on Coursera for data science. It's actually 9 courses to get one certificate. At the end of the 9 courses, you get a certificate of completion, basically, from IBM and from Coursera. So I'm currently doing that one. I'm also going to do another one that IBM offers for applied data science, which goes into Python, and it goes into how to do data visualization and basically using different algorithms on Python. I'm going to get a certification in that as well. I told you guys a few months ago that I was trying to learn Python to build some products, but I stopped learning Python at the time so I could finish the indicators, finish the Discord, do all the business stuff. Now that the business is kind of at a point where I don't have to put so much time into building all the different aspects of the channels and the indicators, whatnot, I can spend more time learning Python. Once I've learned Python, I have some really crazy ideas that I want to play with, which I'm not going to talk about. All those ideas are going to be pretty proprietary. I might show like little bits here and there on stream, but most of it's going to be off stream. Worked at IBM? No, I didn't work at IBM. The courses, the certifications on Coursera are from IBM. So the way Coursera works, it partners up with colleges and it partners up with big companies. And these companies go in and they create courses that you can get certifications in for many different topics. And the ones that I'm going to be taking are on data science and like Python stuff. And they're proctored by IBM, basically. Sticky's actually already taken the one that I'm taking. He already has the certification in the data science. So once I do it, me and Sticky will probably work together on a lot of projects. You got into crypto in March 2017? Yeah, I got in September 2017, so a little bit after you. What's cool about Python is they have a large database of like trading stuff, so like indicators and whatnot. They have a large database of indicators that are already kind of built. So I'm not going to say easily, but I could probably do it. I could probably rebuild the Momo, like the Momo right here, into Python, because the Momo is mainly focused on math formulas. I created math formulas with simple logics here and there to create the Momo. So as long as I can recreate those formulas in Python, we could actually recreate the Momo in Python and start to do some really crazy testing that you just can't really do in PineScript. And I could run some machine learning on top of that to see if it could find better settings or better time frames or whatnot. There's a lot of stuff that we could do. This is just the beginning. 201? What do you mean 201? Do you sell the Momo? Yeah, the Momo is for the Momo. All of our indicators are on our website. So the Momo, not the code. The code is proprietary. The Momo, the OTS, the Auto SR, the Auto Squeeze bars. They're all on our website. We do monthly subscriptions. We do one-time subscriptions. We're probably going to take the one-times away down the line. Here we go, starting to pump. This is good. I'm flattened out at 88, so I'm happy that it's pumping. I would like to see one more sell-off, though. One more sell-off to like 86. 84 to 86 would be a really good buy for me. If it dropped to 84, 86, I would definitely start to put some bids in on my main account. The reason it's, like I said, I'm really reluctant to put bids in currently is we are seeing a daily double sell signal or a double sell warning. The auto squeeze bars did a great job of catching this failure. You see the red bar there? That's a signal of a downward volatility move, a downward volatile move. You got another signal there. Beautiful, beautiful job on that. But yeah, the Momo on the daily is giving a double sell warning. And I've backtested every single double sell warning on Bitcoin. And the average drop from a double sell warning is around 20 to 30%. That's the average. The double sell warning is the gold right here. When this triggers gold, it is very likely to see a big pullback, and that's exactly what we saw. So you started triggering gold. You could grab the top. This has already given us about 10%. The average is about 20 to 30, so we really could see a big correction coming here. But that average is being broken a little bit because if you look at the 2019 bull run, it likes to have these double sell warnings that don't pull back that heavily. They just see these kind of small pullbacks. So the average is being skewed a little bit. You saw about a 10% failure there. You saw about a 10 to 12% failure there. See, this is about average right here. 24% failure there. And then you see another double sell here. Once it started to correct, you saw a 30% failure. And then you got another failure here. So you got even a bigger failure. We saw another double sell warning here. that gave us a 23 to 25% failure. And here we go. We have another double sell. So, yeah, Nader, I'm going to do one next week, most likely. I'm going to do a tutorial on ExoChart next week. I'm going to talk to the developer and see if he wants to join me. I'm going to see if the developer wants to join me on stream to talk about ExoCharts. But yeah, the main reasons I was short was everything that we've already talked about, all the distribution, whatnot. But mainly because you see that double sell warning on the Momo, and you see the distribution coming in. Very good indication that you're going to see a down move. Same can be said about the purple or pink, whatever color you see. These are very likely to see strong moves up. Like we saw here. We have one coming in now, so we could see a strong move up here. This one failed. You started to see a little bit... Actually, I wouldn't say that failed. You have a bull div here and then a pop. This one here popped. This one here gave you a bull div and then a pop. Small pop there. Small pop here that failed. This one here gave you a bull div and then popped. This one here, massive move up. This one here, move up. This one here, move up. This one here tried to move up but then failed. So as you can see, the Momo can really give you these zones of accumulation distribution on the chart for sure. Starting to see massive buy walls coming in on Trading Light. 85 to 8600 getting filled up pretty quickly. You're currently sitting in a massive volume gap, which we talked about on stream basically every day this week. I told you guys we did some volume analysis. I showed you guys some pictures, or we made some pictures on stream. 8600 to 8800 and a little bit lower is a massive volume gap. That was our target for our short. That's why I took profit at 8800 because of that volume gap. Now, funny thing is, I forgot to calculate the difference in XBTZ to perpetual, basically. So when I put in my targets on December, I put in my targets at 8800 and 8650. I was basing those targets off of perpetual. So if I would have calculated the difference, which was about $100 to $130 at the time, I would have actually damn near caught the bottom, almost to the tick. Because like I said, 8650 was my target. It was about $130 difference at the time. If I put in a $130 difference, look at the low here. 8780. That's $130 different from perpetual to December. I could have damn near caught the fucking bottom to the dollar on my take profit. But it's all good. We took profit at 8800, which was pretty much the bottom. And then we took profit. We didn't take profit on the second piece, but we hedged the second piece at around 8930. But I could be out full 100% of my short if I calculated the difference correctly. If you guys don't know what I mean, so like for example, if I wanted to say, like if I wanted to trade, what's an easy way to describe this? Okay, so like if I wanted to trade a failure of this level here, this is at 9100 on December, right? But if I go to perpetual, that level is at 8,900, 8,920. So there is a $120 difference on that level. So if I were to look at like lower levels, like if I want to trade this pivot's at 8,300, but if I go to December, this pivot's at 8,350. So there's a difference, there's a spread in the contracts. So if you're looking at taking profit on levels, you need to make sure that you are calculating that spread, which we do already. I have TradingView doing it for me. So the spread right now to December is $115. The spread to March is $240. Hopefully that makes sense. Sorry, I'm probably overloading you guys with information. I'll sit back and relax. We can take a look at price action here and just chill out. Did any of you guys catch the short? Hopefully you did. We talked about it on stream for like 2 weeks. Anybody in chat catch that short? You didn't catch it, Ventura? You're turning white on the OTS on the 15-minute. You do have a slight bear div though. Look at this peak compared to the Momo. Momo's failing. Sticky talked about the sell signals on the trail on stream yesterday, and they were actually perfect signals for that dump. Look, this was on stream yesterday right here. We saw that sell signal come in here on this candle. You came up and tapped the trail. Damn, my hand's cramping. You saw the price come up and tap the trail, and we started to fail here. And then you came up, bounced off that pivot, tap, 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 3 sell signals, and then broke the pivot, turned black, and then nuked it. So the indicators gave you a beautiful sell signal here. Pretty much everything told you to sell. You broke the pivot, 4 sell signals, and then you turned gray to black, indicating a downtrend. And then boom, see you later. Beautiful trades. One of the most reliable indicators fired off a sell signal when I was sleeping, then Bitcoin dumps. Yeah, that's rough, man. That sucks. I hate when that shit happens. When there's such easy setups when you're sleeping, there's just nothing you can do about it. Another reason that I want to learn Python so I can continue to build out my algorithm. I'm kind of hitting walls that I want to build it out further in PineScript, but it's best not to. Like, I just keep running into different things that I can't do in PineScript. It would be much better if I just built it out in Python. So I'm taking a break from the algo for now. I'm going to learn Python, get used to it, and then I'm going to build it out in Python. Python is much better anyway, so. Oof, BioAQ got nuked. Austin was trading this. Nuked 50%. Fantastic parabolic move there, and then it got nuked. The same indicator fired off a buy for Bitcoin. Yeah, honestly, this could be a really good. This could be a really good dip if we do hold this 8,800 level. 8,800 is a really clean level. I'm technically flat. I'm currently still in half my short, and I'm also in a long. But I'm hedging my short, so technically flat. The next pullback is going to be very telling, because if it holds the pivot here and bounces off of it again, this could be a clean bottom, and we could start to see a retrace towards like 9,000. But you do have a slight bear div here, so if you don't hold the pivot on the next pullback, you're probably going to go for another leg down towards like 86. starting to see that sell pressure from that bear div. You can see the momentum. You're losing steam. You do see some sellers up here on exo charts as well. Look at the CVD right now. CVD is negative almost 300 million. I talked about this on stream yesterday. You had the negative CVD. It was about 20 to 30 million at the time. Along with all that other stuff we already went over. Just tons and tons of analysis. I can't re-go over all of it. But all the stuff that we went over combined with the negative CVD telling you that the majority of the volume coming in is sell volume. Then you saw that massive move down. 600 million in that candle. And you had 123 million delta to the sell side. Along with another 300 million in the next candle. But it was pretty much a buy candle. But you still have nearly 300 million negative CVD. So it's showing you the sellers are pretty damn strong in this like 9K range. They nuked it pretty heavily. Your daily POC is still 8,800. That's where I put my trigger for my long. When we broke that 8,800 level on this candle, it triggered me to go long. If you zoom out, there are no levels below price. All of our levels from the previous month, the previous week, the previous day, they're all above price. So we're definitely entering a territory of bearishness for sure. Now, obviously, today's Friday, so our previous week, our levels are going to shift on Sunday. So once we get to Sunday, we'll see some shifts in our previous weekly levels, which we'll go over on Monday's stream. If it closes above 90.50, would that be bullish? I wouldn't say anything's really bullish until you, yeah, 90.50, yeah. So yeah, 90.50 below the distribution low. So we need to get back above and regain this distribution low here. So 90.20, 90.50, that would be slightly bullish. Our 3-day VWAP is currently at 9,100, so we're still a little ways away from our 3-day VWAP. We're literally sitting exactly where I said we'd sit during yesterday's stream. Because if you zoom out, I know it's hard to see, but let me go to a different chart. you can clearly see that volume gap that we talked about during yesterday's stream, and that's exactly where we're sitting. So until you get back out of this gap, which is above that 90, 100, 90, 50 range, or below the 8600 level that I was talking about, we're just going to be consolidating here and filling this gap, because this is a pretty massive gap. Even if you zoom all the way out to like the beginning of 2019, there is still a major gap there. We have a ton of support around like that 8,000 to 8,600 range, but anything above that, not too strong. 86 to 88, pretty weak. You've got a volume gap there. This is pretty much the perfect picture that you need to look at here. Massive support, massive resistance, volume gap. So we could sit here and consolidate and fill in the gap. We could fail 8,600 and start turning into a pretty bearish move. Or we could regain back into this volume node above 9,000. But for now, we're definitely just filling a gap. The daily candle's really ugly. If I was looking at this on any other chart that wasn't Bitcoin, I would say that we're definitely going down. We're definitely going back down to like 85, 82. But because this is Bitcoin, and it loves to retrace, I could easily see a move back above 9,000, back above like 9,200. Now looking at the weekly, same thing here. If I was looking at this chart on anything else, I would say we're getting nuked. But because this is Bitcoin, this could easily retrace back to the upside. A main thing to look at on the weekly is that level right there that I marked. Or sorry, not that level. That is a different level. This level right here. So look at this blue line here. We have the low of this descending triangle. We have that failure, pop back, and then retest. And now we're failing. In no way is this bullish. If we're looking at purely price action, in no way is this bullish. But, like I said, because this is Bitcoin, it loves to do shit like this, where it fails and then it just pops right back through. So it's too early to tell for Bitcoin. But any other asset, you would be shorting this into the ground. This would be a clear short signal. You'd be targeting like 79, maybe even closer to 7,000. Another thing that I want to show here, look at this. So, tell me that this does not look exactly like this. Yeah, exactly. You don't know about Bitcoin. It's hard to sleep. But hold on. Let me turn off my indicators. Look at this move. And look at this move. Or sorry. This move here. So we can run some Fibonacci test on this to see where this failed. Let's go to a log chart. So this started bouncing It wicked pretty heavily down, but it started bouncing around that 618. You had a pretty massive wick, but your body started to bounce around the 618, okay? So let's pull this to our recent range and see, where did we start to bounce? We started to bounce around our 618, okay? And then we popped back up and we failed around our 382. Where did we fail on this one? This one started to fail pretty close to the 382. They're not exactly the same level. They're not exactly the same, but pretty damn close. You have a 618 retrace, a bounce, and a failure of your soft fib. A failure of your 382. We're going to go over Fibonacci next week. You have a bounce of your 618, a failure of your soft fib right here. I know it's hard to see with my levels. So if I was purely looking at Fibonacci, purely looking at price fractals, I would say that we're retracing to the 618. And if we do not hold the 618, we are going to retrace even further, maybe down to like 5,300. But that's a little far-fetched, obviously. That's not my prediction. That's just a little bit of analysis. It's a little far-fetched. Comparing Bitcoin in 2017 to current price action fundamentally is not the same. Now, technically, we could see some technical patterns that are the same, but fundamentally, they're very different. Hey, Chris. 2019 isn't 2017, though. It feels different here. You said it first. Yeah. Yeah, definitely not the same. I was just making a small comparison. That's what we do as analysts. You got to find small little correlations, comparisons. If you're a Fibonacci guy or an Elliott wave guy, they probably love that correlation. Looks like the pullback is happening. It's trying to pull back from the small little bear div here. I need to sign into BitMEX. You have a new hourly forming. Trying to see if it loses steam here. Because you do have a 15-minute bear div. I called out this bulldog in Discord, which called the bottom. This pivot also called the bottom beautifully. Perfect bulldog here. You do have a little bit of walls coming up above price, about 12 million at 89.20. Yeah, it looks like you're losing steam here. I went ahead and closed my long here. I'm still holding my short. Really nice little scalp on the hedge there. What did I exit at? I got filled at... Jesus, the slippage is getting ridiculous. 88.57. I got like $5 slippage. What was the net gain there? Net gain was 0.65, nothing too crazy. It's only a hedge, so 0% drawdown because it was a hedge and it never went against me. Nice little quick trade there, nothing too crazy. If I close my short right now, with this one trade, we're going to be up 26% of our account on our high risk account. Beautiful, beautiful trade. Made up for being basically destroyed in no trades in October and had no profit to speak of in October. Now we're up 26% in one trade, so that's Bitcoin for you. I was actually doing very well in October. We started off the month, very first day, I was up 13%. And then we just got destroyed by the chop. Closed out the month for break even. Looks like it's trying to bounce here again. We'll re-hedge if it breaks the high. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if I want to re-hedge here. I might just close my short, honestly. Depends on what account I'm doing. Depends on what strategy I'm using. My main account, I typically use regular stop losses. My high risk account, I do not use stop losses. I use hedging, and other risk management techniques. But my main account, I typically use regular stop losses. It really depends on the trade setup, though. I'm a very discretionary trader. I don't have a whole lot of set in stone, like, this is what I do every single trade. A lot of my trading is based on intuition Just reading the market. If I'm in a trade, if I started the trade, let's say at like the beginning of my trading day, I won't put in a stop loss or any kind of like hedging technique. I'll just watch the order flow and pay attention to how the price action is going, how the momentum is going. And then I'll do kind of what I just did live on stream where I saw the momentum starting to fail. We have a bear div. It doesn't look very good. I get a bad feeling about like the sell pressure that's coming in, and then I just close my long. How often does your Momo do that on a short time frame? Is it still bearish divergence, but it's trying to flip green again? Yeah, it's still bearish divergence. So you could have a triple peak because the Momo histogram is based on short-term price action. So you could have a triple peak. So you have to see what it does. So this is still confirmed. This is still a bear div. But because the 15-minute, you could easily be broken by a higher time frame. So look at the 2-hour here. So the 2-hour has a massive bull div. So the 15-minute could easily get overridden by the 2-hour. The higher time frame is always going to have precedence over the lower time frame. And to answer your question, it does it a lot. You could trade solely based on the Momo divs and you would do all right. The problem is you'd have to watch the chart basically all day because coding divergence in Pine script is dog shit. The way you code divergence is really, really bad. The only proper way to really do divergence in Pine script, it gives you a lot of lag. So you'll have like 2 to 3 candles lag. And since the Momo is based on such a fast price action formula, that 2 to 3 candle lag is too much. So the Momo divergence, extremely accurate if you can catch it live. The problem is you have to catch it live. I made an indicator way back in the day to trade the Momo divergence, but because, like I said, the divergence is so hard to code properly in PineScript, there's a lot of false signals on the indicator. But if you take that indicator and you actually do a little bit of basic technical analysis, it's still pretty good. It still alerts you to most of the divergence. This is one of my favorite techniques to talk about on stream all the time. You have this flat bottom with a pivot, and then you have that bull div on the Momo. So Momo, bull div, flat bottom, pivot, boom. Beautiful technique. This was also a bulldog. I talk about this on stream a lot. Now, it's hard to say, is this 15-minute divergence going to play out, or is it going to just give us a little bit of a pullback, and then it's going to nuke upward? But, just to be safe, I closed my long because I was already in profit, and it was a hedge. So, if I'm in profit on a hedge, I close them pretty quickly based on sell pressure or buy pressure because they're hedges. I don't really care. It's not a long-term trade. It's a hedge. So, if I can make money off a hedge, it's a good deal. We're failing the 50 moving average here pretty much perfectly. You're starting to see a little bit of buy pressure come in. Nothing too crazy though. Yeah, you're already starting to sell off here. Yeah, it's pretty challenging. You have to be paying attention a lot. So if you're someone who sits on the computer most of your day and you want to spend time looking at charts, it's extremely profitable. But it's very time consuming and it's very mentally draining. I've showed you guys hundreds of divergences that played out for massive trades. But like I said, you have to be at the computer at the time of the divergence, and it's a very fast-paced divergence depending on what time frame you're trading on. So you can't miss it by that many bars, because when the Momo calls a divergence, if it's a proper divergence, it will fail pretty damn quickly. For example, look at this on the daily. This gave you a massive divergence here. You see this divergence on the histogram and on the trend line. So you had a divergence on the histogram and the trend line. And it gave you one candle to react. 1 day. 1 day to react, and then it nuked it for the fourth largest move in Bitcoin history. It gave you one little doji, and then boom. Yeah, I think I'm not going to re-hedge now that I'm thinking about it. I don't really want to re-hedge here. If it breaks out to the upside, I'm just going to close my short. I'm not going to re-hedge. I don't like re-hedging here. Because if it breaks out and I re-hedge, it could pull back. And then I would lose that profit from that hedge. So, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to close my short if it breaks. But alright guys, I'm going to end stream on that. I appreciate you guys being here. Packed a lot of information into this stream, so if you missed it, go back and watch it from the beginning. The video will be on YouTube. I'll be posting another one of our teaching videos on YouTube tomorrow, so keep an eye on that. I posted 2 videos previously this week, so if you guys haven't seen those, go check them out on YouTube. But alright guys, I will not be streaming this weekend as always. I'll see you guys back on stream on Monday. So you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe. If you guys need anything, as always, just let me know in Discord, and I will get to your messages as soon as possible. But alright guys, you guys have a good weekend. Peace out.